The Battle of Jericho, a pivotal event in biblical history, is depicted in the book of Joshua as the moment when the Israelites, led by Joshua, conquered the fortified city of Jericho through divine intervention and innovative tactics. This battle holds immense significance as it marks the Israelites' entry into the Promised Land, demonstrating their faith and the fulfillment of divine promise. The narrative is not only a cornerstone of Judeo-Christian religious tradition, but also a subject of extensive study in historical and archaeological discourse. Jericho's importance lies in its symbolic and literal representation as the gateway to the Promised Land, highlighting the blend of faith, strategy, and divine will in overcoming seemingly insurmountable obstacles. This narrative is layered with strategic ingenuity, as the Israelites allegedly employed an unconventional method of encircling the city for 6 days, culminating in a dramatic, seemingly miraculous collapse of Jericho's walls on the 7th day after a tumultuous sound of trumpets and shouting. A real-world application of this story is its embodiment of the concept that innovative, non-traditional strategies can overcome formidable challenges, a principle that can be seen in various fields such as military operations and competitive sports, where strategy and unpredictability play crucial roles. Another example can be found in leadership training programs that teach the importance of faith, perseverance, and strategic thinking, drawing parallels to the Israelites' march around Jericho. Scholars and theologians often support the idea that, despite its seemingly mythological elements, the story of Jericho offers valuable lessons on leadership and faith. However, significant controversies arise from the archaeological investigations into Jericho's ruins. Debates persist regarding the historical accuracy of the biblical account. Some archaeologists argue that evidence of a dramatic collapse of the walls corresponding to the biblical timeline is scant. Others believe the continuous habitation of Jericho complicates precise dating of such events. These debates influence broader discussions surrounding the integration of biblical narratives with archaeological evidence, challenging scholars to reconcile historical and religious perspectives. The story of Jericho thus becomes a nexus where faith, history, and archaeology intersect, inviting diverse interpretations and ongoing research. Ultimately, the introduction to the Battle of Jericho sets the stage for exploring innovative strategies and archaeological discoveries that both illuminate and challenge traditional narratives, reinforcing the story's enduring impact on religious thought and historical inquiry alike. The historical context and biblical account of the Battle of Jericho serves as the cornerstone in understanding both the legendary narrative and its broader implications. This concept entails examining the biblical story of Jericho, where the Israelites, led by Joshua, purportedly brought down the city's fortified walls through divine intervention facilitated by a unique military strategy described in the book of Joshua. This account is notable not only for its religious significance, but also for its portrayal of innovative tactics and faith-based warfare. The significance of exploring this historical context lies in its ability to offer insights into ancient warfare, religious belief systems, and early Israelite society. At its core, the story symbolizes the power of faith and obedience to divine commands, as well as the innovative use of non-violent means. In this case, trumpets and marching to achieve a military objective. This resonates with readers and historians alike, drawing parallels between recorded history and mythic storytelling. For example, historians have noted that the strategic encirclement of Jericho, although described in religious texts, mirrors real historical siege techniques employed in various ancient cultures where psychological warfare played a vital role. Furthermore, archaeologists have explored the ancient city of Jericho extensively, uncovering evidence of its destruction layers that might align with the biblical timeline, though the specifics remain debated. Opinions supporting the biblical account highlight faith's role in transcending military might, interpreting the story as a testament to the power of divine providence. However, challenges abound, particularly regarding archaeological data that either supports or contradicts the biblical narrative. Critics often question the historicity of the event, citing a lack of consistent scientific evidence for a singular, catastrophic destruction of Jericho at the purported time. Alternative viewpoints consider the tale of Jericho as allegory or religious fiction, representing moral and spiritual lessons rather than a historical event. These controversies and varying interpretations underscore the complex relationship between archaeology and scripture, challenging researchers to discern history from legend. This point intricately connects to the main topic by influencing perceptions of the Battle of Jericho as a symbol of innovation and divine intervention. It sets the stage for further exploration of strategic ingenuity in historical contexts and the fascinating intersection of faith, history, and myth. Understanding this backdrop is key to appreciating subsequent archaeological discoveries and evolving theories about Jericho's historical fate. The Battle of Jericho is renowned for its unique and innovative military strategies that have captured the fascination of historians and archaeologists alike. At the heart of these strategies is the methodical and symbolic use of psychological warfare, rather than sheer military might, to achieve victory. The biblical account emphasizes the Israelites' silent marches around the city's walls for 6 days, followed by a climactic, unified shout that brought the walls down. This strategy exemplifies the use of ritualistic behavior and the element of surprise as powerful tools in military tactics. The significance of these innovative strategies lies in their impact on the outcome of the battle and their enduring legacy. By leveraging unconventional tactics, the Israelites demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of morale and psychological pressure, which were just as crucial as weapons in warfare. This approach not only led to the successful capture of Jericho, but also set a precedent for future military operations that prioritize strategic ingenuity over brute force. Two illustrative examples highlight the continuing relevance of such strategies. The use of misinformation and deception, seen in the Battle of Normandy during World War II, served to mislead German forces about the Allies' true landing spots. Similarly, during the American Revolution, General Washington's surprise attack after crossing the Delaware River exemplified the element of timing and unexpected maneuvers to gain a strategic advantage. Supporting opinions for the significance of these strategies often underline the timelessness of psychological warfare. Strategies that focus on demoralizing the opponent continue to be studied in military academies across the globe, reinforcing the importance of mental acuity in battle. However, potential challenges and controversies arise from the biblical narrative's historical accuracy and the actual physicality of the wall's collapse. Some archaeologists question whether the stratagem described aligns with traditional warfare tactics of that era or if it was mythologized over time. This interplay between strategy and myth influences modern archaeological investigations, encouraging studies that aim to separate historical fact from lore. By exploring innovative military strategies, we gain insights into how ancient tactics informed both historical outcomes and the ways we assess archaeological evidence. Ultimately, the investigation of these strategies not only deepens our understanding of Jericho, but also enriches our comprehension of human ingenuity in warfare throughout history. The role of technology in the siege of Jericho is a compelling aspect that sheds light on how ancient warfare strategies were forged and refined. This concept revolves around the utilization of available technological means to gain strategic advantages during a military siege. Despite the prehistoric context of Jericho, the application of technology, even in its rudimentary form, played a pivotal role. The significance of technology during the siege of Jericho emerges from the understanding that it provided a foundation for tactical innovation. The story, most famously recounted in biblical texts, describes the Israelites marching around the city and ultimately causing its walls to collapse. While the event is laden with supernatural interpretations, it is plausible that technology, through understanding of sound dynamics, rudimentary engineering, or psychological warfare, substantially contributed to their strategy. One example of this principle in action could be the use of sound as a technology. The biblical narrative speaks of trumpets and loud shouts leading to the crumbling walls. From a practical perspective, these actions might have employed knowledge of resonance frequencies, which can cause structural damage over time. A second example centers around siege tactics, possibly using ramps or primitive siege engines, which were advanced forms of technology for their time, to apply pressure on Jericho's defenses. Supporting opinions often highlight the ingenuity reflected in ancient warfare, underscoring that even with limited resources, human creativity in leveraging available technologies was remarkable. Some historians and archaeologists also suggest that these strategies could reflect an early understanding of psychological warfare, where the persistent encirclement of the city served to demoralize its inhabitants. However, the technological explanations for the siege of Jericho are not without controversies. Some argue that the reliance on technological solutions diminishes the cultural and religious significance of the account, often putting it at odds with traditional interpretations. Furthermore, skeptics question the historical accuracy of the events, given the sparse archaeological evidence directly linking to such a siege. This examination of technology connects deeply with other aspects of the main topic by offering insights into the innovative strategies employed during ancient sieges. It enhances our understanding of how such strategies might have influenced subsequent military tactics. Furthermore, it illustrates the blend of technological advancement and strategic thinking that has been a constant theme throughout military history, framing the Battle of Jericho not just as a biblical event, but as an instance of early human ingenuity.